Winter's upon us, and if I'm doing my job well, we might have cooking videos after this one. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Pook. This one is to read it, it's a big one. There's actually like 4 or 5 chapters just on Womanese, which we're going to get into, but anyways, to the topics. SS, or speed seduction, is for frustrated chumps, talking to girls, the differences between relationships, or dating and friendship. And then the big one, Womanese, more Womanese, even more Womanese, and the secret to Womanese. Then, why women mention other men even if they're interested in you. And more on the are you gay? So here lies a mystery, starting with the quote here. Speed seduction pats its own shoulder by saying, with this knowledge, you will influence and alter women's behavior. Yet it is admitted that women will have sex very freely as long as you're in that frame of mind, or as long as that frame of mind, slut flair, is in place. And so you must tear that down, which only can be because men create the boundaries of such society. So why does speed seduction believe that altering women when it is merely showing them that it's all okay? And my answer is vanity. Men want to believe that they're sex gods that flips women to them like cards, but as we see, it's the women who are ultimately in control with the seduction. Seducer takes the reactive position. Now, what has the man become after all this? Well, he's reacting to how her body, behavior, her speech, and her vocabulary are, to her values and her dreams and so on. Has he not merely become a boy toy? I mean, what more can he be? I kind of see where he's going with this one, with the whole meaningless sex thing, and that's fine. But I think the bigger lesson, which is one he would call pretty immature, but that's fine, is the whole role of any of the seduction stuff, any how to get girls, how do you get to girls, as Aaron Clary puts it, any of that stuff online. Here's the thing. You can't manipulate girls into bed. You just can't. It's impossible. In fact, by doing it, it actually looks manipulative. It ends up doing more damage than anything. And that's why the old pickup artists of the 2000s got such a bad rap, because if you knew a guy was doing pickup, that meant by definition he was doing it wrong. That's not what you're trying to do here. It's never been what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is become attractive, to emulate attractive qualities while you learn them internally. And then if somebody is open to, having fun, casual dating, then you're just making yourself available. It's the same thing as marketing and sales. If you want to sell a Star Wars action figure, you're never going to sell a Star Wars action figure to somebody who hates Star Wars. You're only going to sell to somebody who wants an action figure, but they don't know it exists, and they won't know until you show them. They may not even know they want it until you talk about it, but that's all you're doing. And I think it's a really good self-aware way to understand you're not God's gift to women. All you are is a guy that some percentage of women are possibly into, or at least willing to experiment on it, and you're making yourself available to them so they can make the choice. Talking to girls. Man, he covers a lot of the ground like multiple times on these ones, but quoting here, it's like, everybody likes to feel unique and special in their own way. Show interest in her and her life. Believe me, she'll make your ears bleed. Yeah, the women like to talk, boys, eh? Take my wife, please. I'm here all week, tip your waitress. This will come off naturally since you're already invested in her, therefore interested in what she does, and while you're finding out everything about her, you have remained a mystery since you're not trying to sell yourself. The chick will love something, asking about her, thus validating in her eyes that she's special, and her interest in you will grow because she wants to know more about you. Remember when I said before, last episode, about making her work for it? This is kind of what he's getting at here. Not bad for letting your ears bleed, huh? And also, the more information you get, the better or more precise you can take the next step with a higher probability of success. I love this one. This is great. Here's the thing. So many of the things kind of tie together if you just look for it. We already talked about how everybody's got kind of a tinge of narcissism. They have an identity that they want to maintain. Just by talking to them, they will tell you everything they like in their story, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, the things they're into, the things they're not, the things that they lie to themselves about, the things they're lying to you about. Very upfront and honest. You cannot stop a girl from talking when you've said, I'm interested in you talking about shit. Guys are the same way. That's why I said this carries over so much in the real life. You'd be amazed. Ask a guy about his story and he will flow from the wellspring of knowledge and tell you everything about his Batman origin story. And that's the thing. The more you're talking about her, the less you're talking about you, which means you're more of a mystery. You're something she's got to figure out. She's eventually got to pry information from you. This is what he means by like making her work for it. It's not by being dodgy and dismissive. It's just constantly making the topic about her. And I'm not going to lie, if you have trouble making the conversation with a girl, having the topic of conversation being about her, then I don't think this is going to help you. We need to go back to remedial human being, because it should be easy. The difference between dating and friendship. Well, men have become more religious than ever before. The religion, romance. The deity, their self-picked goddess, a young woman. I will do anything for women, they say. Well, they don't say, but they hint. They act like they did. They will easily buy houses and take them 30 years to pay off just for the girls. He won't admit how stupid his woman actually is, so that stupidity turns into divinity. He believes his woman is capable of great emotions and abilities because he projects his own emotions and his sense of self onto his woman. Woman is shrouded in more mysticism and pomp and circumstance than any king or pope. This is, in a nutshell, where we are at in 2021 North America. It is ridiculous. You would not believe how many guys I've seen talk about women, and the first thought that came to my head is the woman of Willendorf, an ancient statue from 20,000 BC, Paleolithic times, the original fertility goddess, basically a fat broad with curly hair. And it is funny how people are escalating it. I mean, this plays out in everything. Yeah, it's like Me Too. Always believe women, always trust women. What is that if not treating women as divine and infallible? Think about it. You will never not see these examples. The happy wife, happy life. Even the guys that hate women, they hate women in the same way that like people are angry with Lucifer. It's not because he's evil, but it's because he was supposed to be like the second in command or something like that. And he just kind of ruined everybody's fun. And that hatred, again, that's more of like a dispassionate cynicism based on the falling of their god than it is of any actual dislike, which is absolutely hilarious, because what's the response that people have? You're not sufficiently reverent to women, therefore you need to go. And that's why they banned the incel subreddit. Womanese, more Womanese, even more Womanese, and the secret to Womanese. I am not going over all this. There's like, according to the thing here, it's probably like half the book. And all it is examples of women saying one thing and meaning another. Read it yourself. I'll just give you a small example from it so you can see what they're going with here. The one is a girl saying, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. Translated, I don't want a relationship with you. Don't even bother going out with me because I'm saying I want a relationship with you and me, and it's already not going to happen. Hookman says, I was nearby when a woman was giving that veiled rejection to a coworker, so I jumped in. You're not looking for a relationship, then all you're looking for is sex, huh? Her mouth dropped, but he went on. I don't believe you, woman. That's the only thing that's been on your mind. It's just sex, sex, and more sex. I'm looking for a loving relationship, but no. You women only have to want passionate, raw animal sex. Now with me, I find the need to taste the other pleasures in life, so can you get your mind off of sex, right? Her eyes were glowing at me, and funny, she started wanting a relationship. Ha. I don't know if that's true. It doesn't really matter, but that's the point. When women say what they're feeling, and this is Ryan's rule, when women say what they're feeling, just add with or right now at the end of it. When women say they aren't going to do something, a relationship, a certain sexual act, whatever, just add with you at the end. And then all of this stuff they talk about makes perfect sense. Good example for this, going out to dinner. Everybody who's had a girlfriend for any length of time is like, you never take me out to dinner anymore. And you're thinking in your head, I took you out to dinner 2 days ago. Just remember, she's talking about things that she won't do or she hasn't done with you right now. Charles Bukowski, Jordan Peterson, Neil Strauss. I like these guys. Add some salt to cover up the bitterness of middle-aged soccer moms and put in the oven for 45 minutes. Optionally, you can take from all this stuff what you want and leave the rest. So women mention other men even if they're interested in you. There's multiple reasons, but I'll start with his. When a woman tells you how she feels about the guy, she is either in love with you, or she's in love, or you are low interest, or both. This is the crucial difference. When a woman informs you that the actions her boyfriend is taking, she is using social proof, trying to show you that she's in demand. When a woman informs you of her feelings, especially if those feelings are positive towards the guy, then there is nothing going on between you. Something to think about here. Girls know if they say they have a boyfriend, most guys will back off. Girls sometimes have a boyfriend. In fact, it's an old red pill post where women always have a boyfriend because they can't stand being alone. But they're more than happy to move on. This is where all that MGTOW, women are just monkey branching stuff comes from. It's, yeah, if you're talking to a 20-year-old girl who just wants to have fun and has only had a boyfriend for 3 weeks at a time, yeah, the bitches ain't loyal. But they don't have loyalty. They don't have to be. They're at the top of the F pile. So just remember, it's one of two things. She talks about her boyfriend. It's either a fitness test to see if you can blow right through that, or you just aren't valuable enough in her eyes, or her boyfriend is just that good in her eyes. And the only way to tell the difference is to push a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And if she talks about the way her boyfriend makes her feel, chances are you're probably just blown out. But if she talks about her boyfriend in the same way that you would brag about how you got 4 girls in a Lamborghini outside, then yeah, it's just a girl's clumsy way of acting in the way that she would find attractive, be more attractive to you. I took the last bit of the last chapter on the moron you must be gay just to give it some context. So it's like the other Womanese test. It's like, are you gay? It's like, well, are you? I mean, if you're really fruity, you're going to be asked this. Other guys should have asked you this if you're really fruity, and with threats to back it up, whatever that means. But for a girl in that Womanese translation, it's, why won't you go out with me or anybody? That's what they figure. If you're the kind of guy that she's interested in and you won't go out with her, well, it's obviously a problem with you, because it can't possibly be because you just don't like her. So we add some thoughts on top of it here, and we'll go with the quote. Women having gay friends is like whites having black friends, something of which we can use to say we have a balanced set of friends. Also, gays tend to be very intelligent, well-spoken, well-dressed, very sensitive, and open to their emotions, and pay attention to details. Example, listen. Sure. Giovanni Casanova once made a thread about gay guys having women strip in front of them all the time and even begging for sex. Giovanni was onto something. He's one of the members of So Suave. You don't get to be gay or have a lisp, or you don't have to be gay or have a lisp, but if you seem it, then having those listed traits associated with them when you're confronted with, are you gay, give an ambiguous answer. You know, like, well, am I? This can open up a world of women to you. Women who ask you that are attracted to you and wonder why their femininity, which normally makes men cave, isn't enough for you. I am low-key worried if any video gets this YouTube channel nuked, it's gonna be this one. Only because of the 2004 language of of the LGBT squad. Look, if they think you're effeminate and they think you're attractive and what they're doing isn't working for you, that's the first thought. It's a girl's ego save. That's all it is. Same way, and it used to be in the 80s. I remember this. Older people with uncles and that would always tell me, it's like, yeah, you're hitting on some girl and she shoots you down. You're like, ah, she's probably just, all right, I get it. Remember, it's just a coping strategy. So if you're one of those guys who has an issue with your sexuality and some girl calls you gay, do not, for the love of God, do not lose your shit. Realize she's not actually accusing you of that. Don't worry, you and Jesus will know the truth in your heart, so you don't have to convince her. Realize she's probably saying that she's attracted to you and she can't figure out why her feminine charms aren't working. An ambiguous answer, like we said before, make her work for it. Or she can't stand you and maybe you need to look in the mirror because you actually might be. That's up to you. That's the end of the episode. I don't know where I can go with this. That's not a complete demonetization scandal. So I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care. Cheers.